Oh boy, let's get ready for this one, boys. We've got some fucking drama today, son, and it affects me. So, I was scrolling on Instagram, came across a story from one of the cosplayers that I followed because she knew a lot of people, or she was followed by a lot of people in the cosplay community that I follow. And she posted a story on Instagram saying, at the end of the day, if someone cares about you, they care about how their actions impact you and make you feel. That's all you need to know about people if you want them in your life. And that's not a bad thing. But I did want to make a clarification. It's like, yes, I understand this, but this person more than likely doesn't understand some certain other key aspects of the nuances of how complicated and intricate humans can be. So if you know me, I'm a very spiritual person. I'm a very philosophical person. I'm a very deep person. I like deep conversations with a lot of nuance, and that covers the human existence and the human experience in great depth. So, knowing that, we're going to go forward. And these are me reading you, and I'll put up the screenshots of this conversation. I said, how one's actions affect you are your responsibility, not anyone else's. That being said, people who do care about you will be considerate as possible about that. But at the end of the day, you are responsible for your reactions and how you feel about something because those reactions and emotions stem from your belief systems. Now, this person, this Rainy Day Roses cosplayer, she responded with this: I'm not sure what this was meant to contribute, question mark. We agree that the people who care will be considerate about of how their actions affect you, but I disagree that how things impact you is on you and you alone. It is your job not to be an asshole and recognize that you are being that is capable of affecting people negatively, whether it is intentional or not. And if someone comes to you and says your actions hurt them, it is on you to own that and apologize, not on them to just get over it and let it happen. And if you don't, then that person has every right not to be around you, which was the whole point of the share. And I'm like, okay, no, I fully agree. I agree, but there's still more nuance. So I said, and this is quite a thesis, so buckle up, I agree that one needs to recognize that they are being an asshole 100%. There is no excuse not to be nice. If someone comes up to me and tells me that I hurt them, of course I will apologize, because my intention with anything I do is never to hurt anyone. Apologizing to someone is a courteous thing to do if you do happen to hurt them, but if your intentions were never in a place that meant to hurt anyone and someone still got hurt, that is not the fault of the person who did the quote unquote hurting. It is two different people with two different belief systems, and one person's belief systems were challenged or offended by the presence of another belief system. It means that the person who got hurt is significantly more fragile, not necessarily meaning that the other person's belief systems are aggressive. Obviously, there are people who are blatant and belligerent. We don't count those. Those are just assholes. But if you come from a good place of heart and someone still gets hurt, it ain't your fault. Because quote unquote right and wrong are subjective, meaning that those two things, or what those two things mean for each individual, vary drastically. That which is subjective is never concrete. They're not universal truths, basically. So instead of placing blame, we can come to the understanding that there are two parties who have had two completely different life paths, who have grown in two completely different directions, meaning that no one is at fault. But no one gets to make their emotions anyone else's responsibility. That is a form of slavery that anyone who knows themselves will not be chained by. Intentions are everything. There is no right or wrong in any human experience, only that which resonates and that which doesn't. And it is our responsibility to discern and keep which resonates, or what resonates, and remove what doesn't. That's how we evolve our existence. So 100% remove people who don't resonate with you. But if someone was good intention, placing the responsibility of your emotions on them is low vibrational and shows lack of self-awareness. If I get quote unquote activated by any person's actions, it is my fault. It is my responsibility to understand what internal belief systems I have that the emotion stemmed from and discern whether or not that belief system serves me, or if it doesn't, and I will force no one to apologize because I have never spent a second in anyone else's shoes. So I cannot judge them for being human. I can only decide if they resonate with me or not. And then she goes, this is great. I shared a post about how people who care about you will care how they make you feel. I don't know how your brain took be nice to others to holding someone accountable as slavery, and you felt so strongly about that you needed to share it in my DMs, but your low vibrations are not welcome in the space of warmth. I'm afraid we do not resonate. That is insane. I don't know what part of her fucked up childhood that like filtered through that made fucking being held accountable as slavery, because that's not what I said at all. And then she goes on to post in her stories, someone deadass swiped up on one of my stories and compared holding someone accountable for their behavior to slavery. It is an actual thing someone said in my DMs. The world is worse than I thought, and I already thought it was a nightmare. Go to therapy. If one more person says something fucked up to me and I repeat it back to them to show how fucked it was, and they say you're twisting my words like I didn't just repeat back exactly what they said, it's going to be my villain origin story, I swear to God. So here's the problem with that though, girly. You didn't repeat back exactly what I said to you. You repeated back what your fucked up childhood processed it as and then projected it onto me like it was my own opinion. That is absolutely insane, but hilarious. So I then sent a message. I said, I hear you. Your post was about caring, people being considerate, and I built on that by adding a layer of personal responsibility, which you even agreed on in parts. If difference in perspective turns warmth into exclusion that fast, maybe the resonance check goes both ways. No hard feelings either way. I'm all for spaces that feel good. If deeper combos ever vibe right, cool. Otherwise, take care, keep shining. Well, then apparently after I learned that she posted those stories, because she immediately blocked me, and I don't think this last message actually sent to her and she was able to see it. So I did get a little bit salty here, but I said, I get it. My take on personal responsibility twisted into slavery in your read, but that's the beauty of differing vibes. If warmth means dodging depth and quick labeling, cool. We don't resonate. Wishing you growth beyond the echo chamber. Peace. Thought you was a savage on Instagram, huh? LOL. So I've decided to address you personally in this video because this is just hysterical to me, and I do want to entertain this a little bit. Dear Rainy Day Roses, since you decided to take a private DM conversation, strip all nuance, misrepresent it publicly as comparing accountability to slavery, and use it for story content to paint me as the villain while recommending I go to therapy, here's the full picture for anyone paying attention. What I actually said. Emotions and reactions stem from our own belief systems and past experiences. If someone acts with good intentions and unintentionally causes hurt due to clashing perspectives, it's not automatically malicious fault. Apologize for the impact out of basic human courtesy, be considerate where possible, but ultimately no one owns or is enslaved to another person's emotional responses. Discern what resonates, remove what doesn't. That's self-ownership, not dodging accountability. You reduce that to someone deadass compared holding someone accountable for their behavior to slavery. That's not a summary. That's deliberate distortion to make the take sound unhinged so you could play victim and farm sympathy. You preach if someone cares about you, they care about how their actions make you feel. Then you blocked instantly when I added philosophical depth instead of agreeing blindly, shut down the entire conversation rather than engage, publicly shame me with a go to therapy, villain origin story, the world is a nightmare and low vibrations not welcome, claim anyone calling out the word twisting as twisting words while you literally twisted mine into something unrecognizable, warmth and consideration apparently evaporate the second someone doesn't echo your post verbatim. That's not moral high ground. That is your fragility dressed up as virtue signaling. Projection much? You demand accountability from others but can't handle a single nuanced reply without blocking, misrepresenting, and broadcasting it for clout? I have the full unedited screenshots, girly. Context kills cherry picking. If repeating what someone actually says counts as twisting, the problem isn't words. It's the inability to tolerate anything that challenges the curated narrative. If this resonates, cool. If not, remove what doesn't. Either way, I'm good. Peace. Like, it's insane to me, the shit that you can say to someone and then it just gets filtered through whatever the fuck is going on in their brain in a reactionary nomenclature and then spat out and vomited as something entirely different, like a completely new abomination. And then she's like, I said what he said verbatim. Bro, what is this world coming to, man? Grow up, girly.